Cottage Grove Planning Commission's regular meeting for February 26, 2024. We'll move on to roll call, and tonight will be done by Commissioner Fisher.
Yay. Commissioner Bott.
Here.
Commissioner Britton is excused. Commissioner Fisher here. Commissioner Frazier.
Here.
Commissioner Knable.
Here.
Commissioner Rasmussen is excused. And Commissioner Stevens is also excused.
All right, thank you. Item 3 in tonight's agenda is approval of the agenda. I'd look for a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve from Commissioner Knable. Do I have a second?
I second.
Second from Commissioner Bott. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed say no. Motion carries 4-0. Item number 4 is open forum. This is a chance for anyone who's here in the audience tonight who'd like to speak on something that's not on tonight's agenda. So if there's something you'd like to address the commission on that's not on the agenda tonight, this time you can step forward to the podium, state your name and address for the record. Seeing none, we'll close open forum. Item 5 is Chair's explanation of the hearing process. The Planning Commission is a volunteer advisory group to the City Council. One of the commission's functions is to hold public hearings and make recommendations on land use and zoning matters. The purpose of these public hearings is to provide an opportunity for each applicant and citizens to present information, ask questions, and express opinions. Since these proceedings are televised and recorded for the public record, anyone wishing to speak must step up to the podium and give their name and address before addressing the commission. Staff reports are prepared and provided to the applicant and Planning Commission in advance of the meeting. The first step in the hearing will be for staff to present a summary of the report. The applicant will then have the opportunity to briefly explain why the proposal and provide additional information or comments. Anyone wanting to speak in favor or against the proposal will then be heard. Upon completion of the testimony, the hearing will be closed to public comment. The Planning Commission will then discuss and act on the matter. 2 complete agenda packets are available for viewing on the back table. Please do not remove these items. The City Council will act on these items at their meeting on Wednesday, March 6, 2024, which starts at 7 p.m. With that, we'll move on to item 6. 6.1 is lot split at 9826 East Point Douglas Road, case MS 2024-006 with Riley Rooney presenting.
Sweet. That's what I'm marking. All right. Good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the commission. Before you this evening is a minor subdivision application for 9826 East Point Douglas Road South. The parcel currently sits on 13.95 acres and is just south of Cottage Grove Ravine Park, just north of Highway 10. It is currently zoned R1 Rural Residential and is guided as Park and Open Space in the 2040 Comprehensive Plan. The parcel currently contains a single house as well as a few accessory structures. The house itself was constructed in 1905 and is currently operated as a rental property. I'll also note that in addition, Washington County identifies this parcel as a priority acquisition for the regional park, as noted in the 2040 Comprehensive Plan for Washington County. So the applicant is proposing to retain 3 acres for the existing R1 rural residential property that has been highlighted in yellow, to dedicate 2.48 acres along East Point Douglas Road for right-of-way, and I'll just clarify that it's 60 feet from the start or from the middle of East Point Douglas Road South. The remaining 8.48 acres will be acquired by Washington County to expand regional park there, and that has been highlighted in green. I'd also like to note that the city did receive a letter from the county indicating their intent to purchase the property, and that they're currently working on obtaining that property from the owner. And then I'd also like to note that while the house is currently going to remain as an R1 property, it will eventually be dedicated to the county as part of the regional park, just like the 8.48 acres are today. And with that, the recommendation is before you, as well as an added condition number 6, which states no additional developable lots will be permitted to be created on the 8.48 acre parcel, given it is guided as park and open space in the 2040 Comprehensive Plan. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any questions for staff?
I have one.
Commissioner
Yeah.
Fisher.
So the right-of-way that's being dedicated, is that because that road is going to be reconstructed and widened, or is that just like a technicality to dedicate it that way, or
Yeah,
what's the reasoning?
typically with any kind of developable parcel at the point that there is a development on the land later, they include that as part of the right of way. So that could potentially be a road reconstruction, but maybe maybe our engineer would know more than I would on that myself.
That's okay. Mr. Chair, members of the commission, I'll just clarify. As a part of lot splits or developments of parcels and properties, we always try to acquire that right-of-way as we think long-term. At such time, we might need to improve or expand those roadways, so we do acquire that right-of-way when or if we can.
Gotcha, thank you.
Any other questions for staff? All right, thank you.
Okay.
This time, if the applicant has anything they'd like to add, if you could state your name and address, please.
Hello, my name is Al Stewart, 9435 Kimbrough Avenue in Cottage Grove. No, I really didn't have a lot to add. When I purchased the property, I intended to try to let the county buy everything but the 3 acres, and I worked with Emily on that. I did know that we could divide, there would be another additional 3 lots, but we chose not to. And there would be more money in it, but ultimately, I would like to see the county have that too, and they were real nice to work with, so. No, but I have the Bailey Nursery is, the farmers are renting the house seasonal for 6 months out of the year, and then it sits empty. And I'm personally maintaining it still, so. Eventually it'll end up into the park is kind of what I kind of made a deal with the park on, so that's where it's at, so.
All right, thank you. Any questions for the applicant? Thank you very much.
You're welcome, thank you.
At this time, we'll open the hearing to the public. Anyone wishing to speak for or against the application can step to the podium, state their name and address for the record. Seeing none, we'll close public hearing on the application. Any further discussion from commission?
Seems pretty straightforward to me.
I agree. I'm glad that it's working out where the county's getting what they would like. We're getting our right of way so we can make sure that in the future, if we need to get to things, it's going to work out. And it sounds like the property owner is on board with it too. So it's all working out, it sounds like. Any other comments? This time I'd look for a motion then.
I'll make a motion to approve the minor subdivision stipulated, or subject to the stipulations with the added condition that Riley spoke about.
All right, I have a motion to approve, subject to stipulations in the report, as well as the added condition tonight. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Commissioner Knable. Any further discussion on the motion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed say no. Motion carries 4-0. Item 7 tonight is approval of the minutes. Unless there is any additions or corrections, I'd look for a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve
None of us can talk tonight.
by Commissioner Knable. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second from Commissioner Fisher. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed say no. Motion carries 4-0. Item 8 is staff reports and materials. 8.1 is usually recap of city council meeting minutes, so I'll go to,
Yeah, good
Emily
evening,
Schmitz.
Mr. Chair, members of the commission. I'll go all the way back to the beginning of February, so February 7th, the council meeting. I wanted to highlight our parks team continues to work on a design for the Mississippi Dunes Park down there by the Mississippi River. I know we had that in before you at the last planning commission meeting a month ago for the development proposed down there at the Mississippi Dunes, the old Mississippi Dunes golf course. So just know that continued plans are in motion for that park concept design as the excitement continues to boil over almost for that new park down in that area. On that agenda also, the Wholesome's annual mining permit was approved that evening for 2024, as well as Discount Tire. That CUP was approved that evening for their conversion of the Big O tire space to use that. area for their operations. And then jumping ahead to February 21st, again, the Parks, Recreation, and National Resource Committee was busy as they solidified Mississippi Dunes Park as the park name. I thought it was important. I know they went round and round for a lot of months trying to come up with a name for that, so that was clarified at that meeting. And then Graymont Village's second edition final plat, which of course doesn't come before the Planning Commission, so I thought it was important to mention. They're working on that second phase. They'll start that, of course, come spring this year. I'm assuming it'll be in early spring. So we'll see that sooner than later. And then I just wanted to mention, on the evening of the 21st, we also held a workshop with our council to talk through some zoning updates as we've implemented our zoning code now for just over a year, actually. So we're starting to just kind of find those areas that still just need a tweak as we start to implement those, and then, of course, talk through the updated sign code. We didn't make it through the entirety of that conversation on the 21st, so we'll be going back for a second workshop with that council, but both of those will eventually be in front of you in the coming months. So with that, Councilmember Kambata, if you have anything else to add.
It's really nice to have a short meeting every once in a while. First of all, I'd like to congratulate Evan Frazier on the reappointment as Chair of the Planning Commission. I extended that offer and he accepted, and I look forward to having you in that position and offering sound guidance for several more years. Other than that, I'm open for questions.
Any questions for Councilmember Kambata? All right, thank you. I do just have a question for Emily. I know we probably talked about it back when we were doing Mississippi Dunes, but the park that's going to be down there, because there was discussion about, is it a neighborhood park? Is it a community park? Sometimes we have parks that are development driven. Do we have a timeline yet on when that park, obviously the space is open now because we've got the right of way to get down there, but do we have an idea about development timeline for when some of the park amenities are going to be down there?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, members of the commission. So we're just in the beginning stages of the more detailed planning process for that active portion of the park. As you recall, there's about 20 acres that do have that restrictive covenant over them. So more passive uses, not a whole lot of activity or improvements will be happening there. But I think that planning process will probably take the better part potentially of a year. And maybe we wouldn't see anything huge happening down there until after that time.
All right, thank you. 8.2 is Planning Commission, responses to Planning Commission requests. We didn't have any from last meeting, so 8.3 is Planning Commission requests for this meeting. Anyone have any requests for staff? Seeing none, we'll move on to 9, which is adjournment. I look for a motion to adjourn.
Do you want to go? You haven't made a motion yet.
I make the motion.
All right, I got a motion to adjourn from Commissioner Bott. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second from Commissioner Fisher. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed say no. Motion carries 4-0. We are adjourned.